This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so I'm on, wow, we don't play there, do we? Okay, can we just get the approval of the agenda?
Commissioner Rouser,
Here.
Commissioner B. Hill. Here. Commissioner Cooper,
Here.
Chairman Price,
Here,
Commissioner Gomez.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Is that everyone? Is that everyone that should be here?
We are missing,
Scott.
Scott.
I'll accept a motion for the approval of the agenda as submitted.
So moved. I'll second.
Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes? I'll accept a motion on the minutes.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Okay. Kristen. Reports.
Okay, first things off, Shannon, would you like to introduce the new administrative assistant?
Yes, this is Christy Gassman. This is her first day. Getting her little experience.
She got thrown into the pit.
Some
Welcome.
of you already know her. Depending on where you go to church.
Yep.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Glad to have you.
Nice to meet you again.
So, Betty is passing around a sheet of paper. I need everybody's updated phone numbers. You got it? Okay, so we're gonna have that. That way we can share that with her. And this is my assistant, Kevin Mahias. Mahias. And,
Yesterday.
yep. He has been with me. He started last week on Thursday. He is going to be my assistant and he also is IT.
He's a new IT
Just for City Hall, not citywide. Because
Never seen.
That's so wrong.
our last IT guy, they threw that on him and he just like, within 6 months, he's like, I'm dead. So
Chicken.
it was too much with my permitting and everything.
Yeah.
And doing both, it was too much. So updated commissioners last night on road construction on Avenue D. The paving is set to start Wednesday.
Yes.
Commercial should be open north and south and towards the east by the 1st of May.
Yes.
I have road projects going on, the microsil, if you've noticed in town, some of the roads are getting microsil. Hoping to get Ramirez and Sons to hurry up with the other road projects, I guess.
Yes, a broke breakdown, didn't they?
Huh?
They had a truck breakdown, so it delayed it.
Yes, they did have a truck breakdown, and so it delayed, and they usually have two vehicles going, and they only had one. And the other one didn't show up until the other one broke down. Then it was Easter, so they're just like, okay, we're gonna start again next week. So that should be finished up, and then I still have the mill and build, which they've turned into a more of a reconstruction project because we had the bore samples done on the roads. We wanted to mill and build. They don't have any base course underneath.
Is,
So we can.
what's A gonna be, a mill and seal or just a paint job?
What?
Avenue A,
Avenue A is just the micro seal.
okay,
Yeah.
paint job.
The pink.
That's why I can,
Paint job.
that's the way I can remember them.
Okay.
Let's feel it.
All right, anything else? You guys have any questions for me? Okay.
We're good. Public comment.
I do believe only people here are here for items on the agenda, correct? They're all here for.
Okay. We'll move to action items.
All right, make a motion, we'll visit carport variance 710 West Avenue H.
Need a second, guys.
I'll second.
All right, right, so we have a request for a carport variance. The carport was built, actually it was rebuilt. There was an existing carport there. It was an old structure. After the hailstorm last year, it was damaged significantly. When they permitted this, of course, I was swamped with roofing permits and I thought it was just a re-roof. And then when we went to check on it, they had actually made it longer. So the owners have worked with me very diligently to get all the proper permits taken care of through the state for the rebuilding of it and get the state approvals. And it is 2 foot off of the property line. But the property line is 20 foot off of the curb. So they're 27 foot off the curb before this carport's ever even in the way. So we have granted other variances where the easement was this big.
That is a big easement.
We have granted those variances in these with that big of an easement. We've granted those before. So they passed all their inspections. It's just up to you guys to pass the variance.
And the state doesn't have a problem.
No, the state passed the inspection just fine, built very well.
And we're never gonna widen that road.
Not to that extent.
Wide road.
You have to ask the question.
Yeah, not only is there 20 foot on her side, there's 20 foot on the other side of the road too.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be an 8.
It's an 80-foot right of way.
We always needed a 4-lane.
I don't think we needed 4-lane on Avenue H.
No, we do not.
So, if we ever did any work, we would also bring that sidewalk clear out to the curb.
Mhm.
I make a motion to pass the variance.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
All right, I'll make a motion. We visit the variance on cannabis density for 1024 South Main Street.
I'll second.
All right, we have there was the overview of the carport. See, I don't even have the road in that shot. It's so far away. So it's a big easement. All right, so here is this is where they're building the new little 4-suite plaza on South Main.
Of the laundromat.
Yes, between the laundromat and the one that the plaza they renovated. So where that blank area is where that new plaza is built at. So the property line to property line from the school to this property is 240 feet. Yeah, 240 feet. So they're lacking the 300-foot distance by 60 feet. There's an overview of the suites. If you needed to see them, the doors ports are up on the front side. Access to the back is employees only. The state has permitted this facility for this company. An owner's representative is here. If you have any questions for them, or if you have any other questions for me.
Is that a property between the back door and the school?
Yes,
Yeah.
residential.
So it's not like someone's gonna walk out across the school, cut across the person's property and go through the employee entrance, right?
Correct.
So more than likely, the front door then is how far from the school?
Which I do believe that is how the state measures.
Mhm.
The state measures from structure to structure, don't they? And our ordinance says for property line to property line, the shortest distance, not going around about. Our ordinance is very specific on how it's measured.
I can also say there will be security at that.
Come on up. Okay, introduce yourself.
My name is Brittany Stone. I am operations for Dreams and Enchanted Farms. But yeah, there will always be like locked and security at the back door, and there's usually buzzers at the front door. So we try to have as much security as possible.
This is like the last
Property
one.
line to property line, right?
Yes. which is how our ordinance is written to measure.
Yeah, I like one that did
Yeah.
property with
Do we
two.
know what it is, structure to structure?
I know the school down at the south end of the school there and the south end of that new, older plaza was 320 something feet, because tobacco, they have to be 300 feet away from the school building too.
There's a smoke shop right
Yes, and
there.
that's it, tobacco sales.
But the
So
school doesn't go all the way to the school building.
we don't have an ordinance against tobacco sales at schools, but we do have one against the cannabis.
Schools and churches and
It's very hard to find a good spot.
It is very hard to find a good spot.
Is there not another structure there that could be rented that would put you?
a little further away from it.
We have looked and looked for other properties that would meet the standards. And this, I'm here because this is the one.
We have someone that wants to get
Can I speak as a resident?
Yes, you may come up and introduce yourself, please.
I'm Junior Cardona. I live behind the smoke shop. And ever since the smoke shops came in, traffic has been bad. There's guys trash digging. If you go back there, there's blood wrappers. There's all these e-cigarettes that these guys come, it's for free. And me as a resident, bringing them in is gonna be bad in my home. I work in the oil field. I'm not guaranteed a job tomorrow. But to me, I think, no, and my kids can get lost, like, because of the traffic. Walking through that.
Oh, people are coming through and
Yes.
dumpster
And
driving.
then I have an abandoned home, and I've seen the breaking in,
Which one's the abandoned home?
this one. And I've done try to,
Uh-huh.
and they won't sell it. This house is boarded up. Look at the cars.
Mhm.
Which home is yours, Junior?
This one, and the
Living.
trash guy sits right here. And you can just watch the, I put cameras about guns because of all this.
Right.
It's bad.
I can definitely understand this, the smoke shop, they don't have quite the regulations and things to abide by that we do, so, you know, things.
And even the owners, like the owner don't, I call them about the trash. They don't care.
Well, we'll do something about that.
Perfect. Thank you, Junior.
Thank you.
If there are questions,
Is anybody else that lives in that vicinity got a problem?
I have not heard from you.
But also too, all the guys are Spanish people. They don't speak English.
That's what I was wondering.
You have any
questions?
Constant methods, they're walking up and down the street, my kids
Nothing.
play across the street. Heather, I live across, me and Junior live together. My kids can't go outside, my little, they're all girls. All the kids that live down my neighborhood are all girls except for my son. He's too small, he don't even play with them. The girls used to play out in front of the school, I can't let them anymore. There's too many people on drugs, constant, there's guys walking with big old tires down the street. Like, I guess they steal them from Forest Tire, like, it's just gotten ridiculous. I don't feel safe having my kids out there in the front, I'm not gonna let them. I went outside the other night at about 8 o'clock at night to throw my trash. There's a guy I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, they had a hoodie over their head. It's dark, they're pulling a little kid station wagon. Why? And this has all happened since this vape shop came in. They're breaking into it, we call the cops. The cops tell me, how do you know they're breaking in? My husband's outside, he can hear them. Well, they have other things that they're doing, so when they can, they'll get there. Like, it's just ridiculous. It really, I don't want to, I'm sorry, but it's okay, I don't have any questions about putting my business there. Then, you know, I mean, if we're having this type of problems right now, and I'm sure they're kids that are breaking into these buildings, they don't care. They don't care. I'm not big about guns. I don't even know personally how to shoot one myself, and now I'm gonna have to go take a class for it. Like, I didn't even want this in the house for my kids. And it's just ridiculous, so. Sorry. But
Thank you, Heather, thank you.
I knew we had some issues with theft up at like the car wash. They've actually reported to the police they've had problems.
I've heard about that bad shop being broken
I've had-
into several times.
Other issues with other construction sites having
Missing stuff.
missing stuff, well, stuff torn up. But I didn't know was having a problem down there with this, and I will get code enforcement.
Yeah, like we called, it was midnight, but they didn't call the cops when they first broke in.
Okay, so you have an active police report?
Yeah, they said, how do you know they're breaking in? Who's visiting a smoke shop at midnight? You know, and then they show up 30 minutes later, and then that guy asks me, well, I didn't see you right. You know, I'm like, dude, they got you over it that way. Go look for him, don't ask me, I'll see what he did. And sure enough, they broke in, and then a couple of months later, they broke in again. And I can tell exactly what broke in on the side, on that drive-through window.
Yeah.
And I felt like going to tell the owner, because the city of Lovington really don't care, the cops, they were just like, whatever. But it's me, as you know, like the homeowner, I feel burned because these guys are breaking in, but they're gonna jump into my house.
Right.
I absolutely don't believe you guys for your
Yeah,
concern.
and y'all can feel free, pass down that alleyway, nothing but trash. Out there, we had to pick it up when we mowed the lawn, because I called the owner, he don't do nothing.
So the state's going by from property line to property line.
No, the state goes from building to building.
Oh, building to building.
We go for property line.
We go from property line to property line.
So if I may, I live kind of far from there.
Go ahead,
not too
go ahead
far.
and come on up and introduce yourself.
Cecilia. But it's also rumored that since cannabis has been legal, that smoke shop is also selling cannabis.
I heard that too, but
I don't know how true that is.
They're not legal to sell it.
well, honey, the rumors around town are, they're real good at selling.
It's like really close to kindergarten. I don't know.
I was trying to remember when I was kindergarten or first grade.
I just don't have little kids.
But you lost
I don't know
some kids.
how close to my kindergarten kids.
Right.
Any more questions, guys?
I don't need the cheese plants available. I mean, there's plenty of property to build. I personally am against this. I want to keep everything more than 300 feet away from the schools. The minute you allow one, then
Everyone's gonna put one
to
there.
give a variance for theirs as well. I agree. I work in Hobbs, and there, every corner you turn, there's another one there. I mean, it's saturated, and I don't want Lovington to become like that, especially if we're giving variances and allowing it. That's my.
This
take on
isn't
it.
the first one we came across.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This is not the first time I've done this, so.
this is the first time we've done it.
Yeah, I
They
come from
don't like
Oklahoma
us.
where the oversaturation really is a huge problem. So I completely understand, you know, the stigma with cannabis, I do try very hard to break, but, you know, I understand where you guys are coming from.
I wouldn't mind it if it was away from schools and away from churches. I don't have a problem with that. And I know we have way too many schools and way too many churches, but that's not.
Hey.
We got-
Becky, stay in lane.
We have church on every, on every corner.
The builder that's building for them is building like they're like town and country. They say it's future development.
Is that a better?
Oh, wait,
It's farther from the school.
there's a church down there.
There's a church right there.
There's a church down there. Told y'all, every corner is church.
Just about.
I own the church to my house.
Okay, so how do we want to do this? I need a recommendation.
I'm gonna recommend that we follow staff's recommendations.
But-
I make a comment too.
Okay,
Let him make a comment real quick.
Sure.
You guys all know who I am.
well, introduce yourself.
Come on up and introduce yourself.
I'm Mark Dave, 42 Days Cannabis. My apologies to you. As you know, I've been working my butt off, never applied for a variance. I know a lot of guys want to come in here. I've been in Lovington a long time. If we're gonna do it, let's just do it right. I've been in Crystal's office 60 or 70 times with Chuck. Like everybody knows how much stress, effort, and money I've gone through to do this. I don't know that I would like to see it made easier on somebody else, just a whole principle. I've killed myself for this. So that's my comment. My apologies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, well, I'm gonna make a recommendation that we follow staff's recommendations and deny this variance.
I'll second.
I'll third. I'm gonna say.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
but
you.
it'll still go in front of the commissioners and they can approve it or not.
Yeah, it doesn't stop here.
Yeah, it doesn't stop here.
Okay.
Just the
This
recommendation.
is just our.
Just our recommendation is what goes to them and they can say yea or nay.
So only if you want to pull the request, is it not at the next commission meeting?
Okay, well, I will give Cody a call and I thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you.
Do we need a roll call?
Yes.
You need a roll call vote.
Commissioner B. Hill?
Yeah.
You can say aye.
Yes.
Because that was your recommendation.
To deny.
Yes. Commissioner Bowser?
Yes to deny.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
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 I have a question. So the next meeting for the commissioners, if we still wanted to tonight, do we need to come and speak on, or how does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want
It'd
to-
be best.
If you don't want it to go, I would come to the commissioners meeting and speak out about it.
And at that, at the commissioners meeting, you would need to get up, introduce yourself, and tell them where you're located and why you're there speaking. But you have to make that during public comment,
Mhm.
because they will only hear from, like, a direct question to the representative. They will not ask, sometimes they'll ask for public comment, but they're not usually. So make it during, get up and say what you need during public comment.
Which is at the beginning of the meeting.
That will be on, the
24.
24th
This one.
at 5:30.
But get here early so you can get a seat.
Yeah.
Some things we get busy on.
I'm thinking about selling tickets.
I'm gonna be a recorder.
Yeah, because all we do is give them our.
We give them a recommendation.
They have the final say.
All right, I will make a motion that we visit the approval of Blackwood replat and street and alley vacation and zone change.
So moved.
All right. So, the area where, it was replatted a year and a half, 2 years ago to put a street through there, make First Street curve up and around and actually attach to, Main Street, right there. The hatched area is where they had First Street would continue on and tie back into Main. And then, of course, an alley with utility easements went on north. That was when there was going to be a hotel and other little shops there and a residential or multifamily zone towards the back on the west side. The front side, of course, would be all. But the property has changed, no longer going to be a hotel. We have changed to one large store. So pretty much all that front area is going to be parking and possibly a fuel station in the future.
The other parcel we had last time, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the back half where it is zone B, we need to change that either to commercial or economic, the whole thing. They would like to see the front left economic, the back half changed to commercial and vacate that First Street. So it's all big, one open big lot, and they'll have the parking up in the front. The store would be then in the back.
Oh, you wasn't here. They're gonna, the first, this.
So if you go
it's gonna
back
be the
here,
Grocery store
it's the area between the apartments.
and parking lot. They'll enter from this one. So you come into it instead of from here and here. This will be done away with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
the free
what-
ride, the free ride has already been addressed by city commission to be removed. They're coming out of the hospital area. That free right hand turn is it's gonna go away. People will be able to access the new store from that area of North Main. And they'll also be able to access it right down close to the existing Family
First Street.
Dollar. There'll be entry there with other little shops in that area going up in, and they'll be able to enter the parking lot through First Street, and they'll be able to enter the parking lot, well, the back, come around the back of the store from Second Street.
Now, from Second and First, they'll have entries.
Yes, they will.
But there will be one on Main Street, but it'll be in the little shopping area that's beside
That's just.
where the grocery store's gonna.
Right.
I can get y'all one here.
So, yeah, to clean all that up, we have to vacate that street and that alley so they can do the replat. And then, also I'll have to turn in an ordinance to do a zone change. But of course, everybody's gotta approve that action before I can.
So he wants to keep the front,
They want to keep the front as economic zone because we had everything along Main Street be an economic.
yeah.
And then, it is written in our ordinance on the economic zone to Love Street. So that is supposed to be our economic zone. The back portion is currently a zone B, which is
Now
multifamily.
multi-families.
They want to switch it to commercial.
How's that gonna affect the property beside it for those apartments?
That's the only thing I worry about is, so the property
Or,
south of the area
yeah,
is commercial, is economic, commercial, and B zone. All before Second Street. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. And then on the other side of Second Street, where the school owns that property, is commercial. So it's kind of all crazy in that area. I think we should ask them to leave it as all economic, the entire parcel, just like Bob's. Even though a little bit of it only touches, the property line goes clear back to the back of those stores.
yeah.
So every bit of that parcel is economic.
That's what I was like, why couldn't we leave it all as one?
I think that would be easier, cleaner on the recording of
Yeah.
everything rather than, so we would just then change it to all economic zone. But I did want that recommendation
Well, thank
from you guys on how you felt about that.
Leave it
We
alone.
do have a representative here, but he is just the surveyor. They just, so I would have to write a letter to them of your recommendation and see how they want to proceed from there. But I don't think they would have an issue with your recommendation.
Do you think they'd have an issue?
With the not being commercial?
No.
Being econ,
Being economic,
Well, you can still do the same in that economic zone, right?
yes,
correct. You can still do the same store they're wanting to do.
yeah, with no problems.
I wouldn't say it'd be an issue, but.
I will.
Well, but that was the reason why we wanted to make it economic zone all the way up there anyway.
Mhm.
So we're just fulfilling our mandate.
So when are they making those two separate lots or is it all going to be one huge lot?
For the Lightwood,
Mhm.
it's gonna be one big lot.
That's what I thought. So
So
it's
the main thing-
easier on a record like that, rather than, because in my ordinance to do a zone change, at that point, I would have to have meets and bounds to record that zone change. And if we change it all to the exact same zone, we won't have to have that. We'll just,
Clean
this
it.
parcel is this zone, and it'd be a lot.
Now, get with Clyde, so I don't see an issue as long as they can still do what they want.
So the main thing is that you're going away from the multifamily.
Yes, they are going away from the
That's the
multifamily.
main thing is getting away from that.
Yes,
And so we're just talking about that one, the center blue square
yeah,
area there.
this one here.
Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure, because I didn't know, we were talking about multi-families, and I know the apartments are above it, and I didn't know if you wanted to use the same thing behind that, but we're just talking about that one square,
The big square by the
Yeah.
grocery store.
Rectangle. A rectangle.
rectangle.
Would that affect any restaurants going in right there?
No, it would
No.
not.
Have you heard of anything?
Huh?
Have you heard of anything?
Dave has.
Call Wendy's.
That's it.
Well, that's actually the call I got. believe it or not.
Do what now?
That's actually the call that I got, believe it or not.
What's for Wendy's?
See, just
I don't
got
have
me
to
the
go to
brown.
Hobbs and get my double cheeseburger. All right.
Okay,
Now
so,
we know why your name's Dave.
yeah.
That's right. And I'm adopted.
Oh, dude.
Skip words.
All right, okay, let's get to that.
All right, well, I like it.
Wait, I got one, does the setback apartments change between the two, in commercial and?
No,
No,
economic zone mimics commercial setback.
So what would be the major difference between the two?
So in commercial, residents are allowed.
Yeah, okay,
In the economic, no residents are.
okay.
So that is.
So they couldn't build a house right there too, saying,
And
Like next to Andres's chiropractic practice? Okay,
yes,
all right,
that's the difference between the economic and the commercial.
okay.
Because any type of business you want to put in a commercial, except for a trucking business, you can put in an economic.
Okay.
Doctor's office, lawyer's office, any professional office, any retail that generates gross receipt tax, churches, government buildings, all that can be in the economic.
So in the parcel that's north of it, behind the apartments that the hospital built, is that going to continue to be
More
multifamilies? Or are there going to be more apartments in the
Yes, it
future?
will.
Okay.
That up there is still a V zone and will remain so.
Well, that'd be a
They
great
are
place for
going
a
to build
store.
more apartments up there. That is going to be expanded.
Tell Wendy,
Yeah,
great place for.
I think the hospital owns those, do they?
No, they do
The
not.
hospital doesn't own that apartment complex.
No.
And they're building on to that complex.
Yeah.
Make it bigger.
But they built it for the hospital staff at one point, didn't they?
Well,
That was what I.
There was with those apartments, like the city and hospital staff got a discount on rentals.
No, is that what the deal was?
Because
And then they put
we
that
did help
other good Sam out there.
infrastructure, the hospital helped with some of the infrastructure. There was some money helping with the first initial build of that.
So will that access road still remain there? I see it impinging.
So we will have to still have a utility easement through there because we do have utilities through there. And it'd be just like anything else, go right through the middle of the parking lot.
Well, no, what I was talking about was, where you turn in and to go back to the health center.
Yeah,
That funny road. I see on your drawing here that you're cutting in. That whole road's gonna go away?
oh, yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay, so how do they get back there to that? Are they gonna cut through the clinic's parking lot?
Not the
No,
whole road, just the right turn.
Just that little area turns on.
so you're talking about right here?
Yes, I am.
That free right is what is gonna be removed. You still go in through here and
That's still
here.
gonna be there,
This is
okay.
just the
Yeah.
exit. So
Okay,
what it is to have an entrance right down in here,
uh-huh,
this was too close and cars coming out, cars stopping
Yeah.
would cause too many accidents. So you have to remove the free right, so that way there's this room for cars to actually, well, have a decelerate lane to turn, is what that'll be for that. The whole road thing right there has got to be changed. But that's not on us, that's in MDOT and the
Mhm.
contract.
You approved to remove that last time.
Yeah, I know, but that was a month ago.
I know you forgot. Okay, any more questions, guys? Ms. Elaine,
No.
I'll accept the motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the replat and vacation with the added utility easement and the zone change to
Economic.
economic.
I'll second.
Shannon, you don't have to get up. We'll all say yes for you.
All in favor?
All in favor, guys?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? We're all good, Shannon. Is that good? Anything else? Fill out your paperwork if you're going to school and return it to Crystal.
Yes. So I need, so the early bird registration ends the 19th. I will be gone next week. I have to leave Sunday to drive to Farmington to teach a FEMA class, so I will not be here. So to do the early bird cost that I can pay the registration fees for, I can't afford anymore. I need you guys' registration, like Thursday, so I can take care of that Friday and get you guys registered if you want to go. The rest of the packet tells you, the hotel information, because you do have to book your own rooms, and the preliminary agenda for the class. So Wednesday starts at noon. Goes through Thursday all day, and then Friday is just till, actually, you wouldn't even have to be at Friday's classes unless you want to hear about the nuisance abatement and go to our business meeting, which you don't have.
That might be interesting. Nuisance.
So I know Dave went to one of these.
Mhm.
You went to one. Betty went to one. They're pretty good training.
I like to cruises.
They do tell you a lot of the ins and outs and how things are supposed to happen at meetings and your legal rights and your authorities that you have to make decisions.
No, I can't. No, I can't.
And they stress you're not allowed to go visit the site before.
That's correct. Do not, especially don't talk to the owners of properties and get other opinions.
But we're taking pictures either.
They're a little adamant about
It makes you form a biased opinion. And you're supposed to come in with an unbiased opinion.
Okay, I'll accept a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
I'll second it. All those in favor, say aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions? We will be, we'll have to be here on the 24th at the city commission. Yep. Thank you.